So let's go ahead and talk about it, huh? Stephen A. Smith, over the past couple of days, has been on his high horse. He's been on his pedestal. And listen, I hate almost half the things that Stephen A. Smith says, just because it's not none of it's real. At least half of it is never real. Listen, um, trading LeBron James would be one of the worst decisions in LA Laker history. And there's a couple factors to this. Um, and it, and let me preface this by saying also, not only would it be a bad idea for the LA Lakers to trade LeBron James for multiple factors, for multiple reasons, it'd be a bad idea to be trading for LeBron James for a various number of reasons. Now let's talk about it on the Lakers side of things. LeBron James over the past 3 years, from when they won their championship till now, has been the most reliable, has been the most efficient, and has been the best player on the team for the past 3 years. And you're going to sit there and try to tell me that he should be traded. Okay. I think LeBron has been blamed for a lot of things in LA, and one of them is roster construction. If you're really going to get mad at a LeBron James for the roster construction of this team, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm naive to the fact that there's a chance that he has a hand in playing, or he had a chance of playing a role in the roster construction of this team, because yeah, of course he did. He's LeBron fucking James, kid. Like, of course he had a hand in this roster construction. But if you're Rob Pelinka, can you man up and take control of your team as the general manager of the team? Can you man up and say, okay, I'm tired of this. I'm going to do the deals I want. I'm going to do the deals that are in the best interest of my team. Can you man up and do that? Also for the Lakers, just from a PR and a potential monetary standpoint, LeBron James is going to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for most points in NBA history. That's going to be a media frenzy. It's going to be a PR. It's going to be a good monetary moment for the Los Angeles Lakers. Ticket sales are going to go through the roof leading up to the game where he ultimately passes Kareem. It's probably going to be put on TNT. It's probably going to be, one of the most watched games we've had in a very, very long time. Like, it'd be a poor idea to voluntarily miss out on that. Now, let me talk about this from the other side of things. Why it would be kind of a bad idea to trade for LeBron James. And this is including everything that I just said, including the fact that LeBron was the most efficient player on the Lakers last year, more reliable than AD, more reliable than Russ. He's just been the best player on the team for the past 3 years. Like, that's no question. However, the idea that I've heard floated from time to time is, Miami could trade Jimmy Butler for LeBron James. And, I mean, come on. Like, Miami would do that in a heartbeat. No, they fucking wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. They would not trade Jimmy Butler for LeBron James. Yes, the contracts somewhat match, but think about it this way. If LeBron James had switched places with Jimmy Butler that one night where there was the altercation between him, Spoelstra, and Udonis Haslem, you think the team is rallying around LeBron James the way they rallied around Jimmy Butler and the rest of the team after that happened? Fuck no. LeBron James would have gone, sat on the other side of the bench, probably would have sat in the crowd, honestly. He might have gone and sat in the suites. Because, that's just the way this guy operates. If there is an issue that LeBron James sees with a coach, with a player on his team, with a member of the front office, he will have no holds barred in his attempt to try to sabotage and get that guy off the team. And in almost every situation, he's gotten his way. This is why the Lakers are in the situation they're in right now. So with all that being said, throw in the fact that you're trading for a 37-year-old guy. There's a chance that within the next couple of years, he does fall off in his production, in his ability to stay on the court, which has already kind of happened, and his ability to lead teams to the playoffs. You'd be trading for that guy. You'd have to give up a veteran player. You'd have to give up probably young players. You'd have to give up probably draft picks. Throw in the fact that every single team that LeBron James has been on, including this Lakers team right now, including Cleveland both times, and including Miami, when it's gotten to the point where his contract is about to be up, which his contract is up after next year, almost every single time his contract has been up, he has basically made the decision that he does not like the outlook of the team and he wants to leave. So if I'm trading for LeBron, I have to give up all this shit just to get him, and in a year he's going to leave. It's a worse situation than the Toronto situation with Kawhi, because Kawhi was at least still in his prime, and at the end of it, they got a championship over a really good Warriors team, albeit they were injured. I don't think those are even close to the chances that could happen to any team that trades for LeBron, because it's basically going to be LeBron, a bunch of role players, and maybe one decent star next to him. And they're looking like a possible second round team. And then he leaves. It's not good for either side of it. It's not good for the Lakers if they trade him. It's not good for any team that would be trading for him. Because, he's one of those rare guys where it's like, okay, if we get this guy, we kind of have to do everything he says or else he'll leave. Or we have to, I don't really know how to explain it, but you know what I'm saying. It's just a tough situation to be in with LeBron. Both trading him away and trading for him. Listen, the Lakers can still win a championship with LeBron James as the guy. What he showed last year from an efficiency standpoint, it's one of the best seasons he's had in a while. And listen, people aren't going to give him, any slack, or people aren't going to give him any sort of leeway, but the Lakers got pretty unlucky last year with the Anthony Davis situation, with Russell Westbrook being, the very, very past his prime version of himself, which I don't know if that's unlucky or more of a fact that they just shouldn't have done a deal for him. And it's difficult for the Lakers because you can't have patience if you're the Lakers front office, which is the biggest ingredient to trying to make a championship team, is patience. So just be patient with LeBron. This is something that's very common in sports. You got to be patient. You can't just trade him away because everybody on fucking NBA media, because Stephen A. Smith, who, I'm not going to say anything bad about Stephen A. Smith, but listen, he has no idea what he's talking about when he says the Lakers should trade LeBron James. They shouldn't even be entertaining it. At the end of the day, the Lakers are going to be back next year. I mean, listen. The Lakers are going to be back in the playoffs next year. LeBron's going to be back to making everybody feel bad or trying to make everybody feel bad that we disrespected him last year and we said that he sucked and he was out of his prime and blah, 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 blah. I can already see the tweets from LeBron. But if I'm the Lakers, I want to see him break the scoring record in our jersey, and I want to see him lead us to another championship. Because honestly, he's one of the few guys in the NBA right now I'd be comfortable having the face of my franchise, have him be. He's one of the few guys. Tongue twister. He's one of the few guys in the NBA I would be comfortable with having as the face of my franchise if I'm the LA Lakers. I mean, I don't want Kevin Durant as the face of my franchise if I'm the Lakers. The only other guy possibly is like Steph, or it's like Steph or LeBron, and they already have one of the two. So just keep him. Win another championship. God damn it. Get another championship for LeBron. Put a good team around him, Rob Pelinka. Don't just sit there and blame him and let the media blame him. Take responsibility for the fact that you're responsible for cutting checks to guys. You're responsible for doing deals for guys. You're responsible for trades. You are responsible, Rob Pelinka. Act like it. And Lakers fans, again, look yourself in the mirror. Understand. Some of this shit doesn't matter. Just be patient. It's an NBA team. They're going to figure some things out. There's some things they're not going to figure out. But at the end of the day, it's all going to be good if you just give it a little bit of time.